Hey guys, so I wanted to make a video talking about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I wanted to give my honest opinion about this game. So far, it's kind of mixed feelings about this game. I'm definitely excited for it, but I'm not sure the path it's going to right now. So I kind of wanted to talk about it. I do have a list of bullet points over here that I want to talk about. So I do have some good and some bad things to say about this game. First, I want to start off with the good. First of all, the graphics. The graphics are amazing. They're really good. They look way better than the 3DS. The environment is really, it's really good. The cities actually look like cities. If you were to take a screenshot of the game, like at the wild area or something, it kind of seems like, like real life, like you're actually there. So if you're someone in the past, who isn't really used to these graphics yet, and it kind of looks realistic. I wouldn't say it's the best graphical improvement out of the Pokemon series. For me, the best improvement was from going from the Game Boy to the Game Boy Advance, just because there was a lot more color to it. The doors would slide open, and another big change was Pokemon X and Y when it went to 3D. That was one of the biggest changes, which really hyped a lot of people up. Like, a lot of people went to play Pokemon again just because it looked amazing. This time, like, it looks a lot like the 3DS. Like, the Pokemon models look great, but they still look like the 3DS models, if you know what I'm saying. We're pretty much used to the models at this point. It's just the environment that really did improve, just because you're going from a handheld to a system, well, a hybrid system, but it's really more powerful than the handheld system it was before. Another thing that I really like are the trainer battles. The animation when you first start off, like, it kind of shows like you and the trainer at the same time. Like, I really like how that looks. I really hope they changed the way you could throw a Pokeball, because they kind of did that with Pokemon Sun and Moon. So I really hope that they improve on that, because Pokemon doesn't really they're not known to they're known to improve their past games, but they're also known to take things out, which I'll get to that in a moment. The starters look amazing. I love how the starters look like. There's actually like one of the only Pokemon games that actually do like all three stars. I like their designs. Usually there's like a design that you don't really like you guys remember Popular, right? That was like a meme back then where nobody really liked the design for it. And also the new Pokemon that they revealed so far, they look really good. A lot of people love Wooloo, so that's like a fan favorite right now. And just before I go any further, I just want to let you know that I'm filming this right after E3, so all we got is the reveal trailer and the Nintendo Direct that we got, the Pokemon Direct that we got before. So that's all I know so far, and a little bit of details after E3. So we got some gameplay of that. So we don't know any other Pokemon, or I don't know any other Pokemon at this time, just because I just want to let you know that, just in case there's a Pokemon revealed in the future, or there's like some new feature that they included. So right now I don't know anything about this. It's just my opinion right now at this moment. The wild area is another great place. It's something that a lot of us have been wanting for a long time. We always wanted a open world Pokemon game where you control the camera, and this is, although it's just like one place in the map, like they really did expand it a lot, and that's like it's starting to get to that. So I really hope that in the future it really does focus more on mechanics like the wild area. So I'm guessing they're just like testing the waters for this. Another feature that I really like, that I'm so happy it finally came back, is the bike. Not only can you is it way faster to take it out, it's actually like you could use surf on the bike, like your bike could actually float on water, which is amazing. So it makes surfing a lot more faster, which is something I really wanted, because it's just like, it's so tedious. Like when you want to surf, you have to call out a Pokemon. Now it's instant. So that's actually really good, and I love that so much. Another thing that I really love was multiplayer. on the E3 for the Treehouse event, they actually showed multiplayer. They showed the wild area, how people could actually walk around and like walk with each other, which is pretty cool. Like a lot of us really been wanting that for a long time too. So Game Freak has really been listening to that, and they're pretty much giving us like things that we want, or things they've been wanting to do. It's just that they couldn't do it because of the handheld limitations. It looks like this wild area is kind of like the new festival plaza, because when you're on it, you could kind of see some icons on the side if someone wants to trade or battle with you. So I'm guessing if you want to trade or battle with anybody, you have to go to a wild area. That's my guess. That's probably like the new version of the Festival Plaza or PSS system. And another good thing that I like about this is that gym battles, like the gyms are finally back. I didn't like the trials from Pokemon Sun Moon. It just seemed out of place for some reason. Like I know they wanted to try something different, but like not having gyms just doesn't really make it seem like, you know, like a main Pokemon game. It kind of felt like a side mission, you know? It's like I guess the Orange Islands. It just felt like that. It didn't really feel like a mainstream Pokemon game. So I'm just finally glad that that's back. Okay, so I'm looking at the list of bullet points. I have a lot more good than bad, but this is pretty much the bad side of the video. This when I start talking about the bad things about this game, that it's kind of disappointing, to be honest. Like one of them is like really big. I'll get to that right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is Dynamax. Dynamax is a feature where your Pokemon grows really big for 3 turns, and you kind of have to use it wisely because, we haven't seen any like official gameplay. Like we've seen some gameplay from E3, but I'm pretty sure there's like some moments where you would want to use Dynamax to your Pokemon when there's like a crucial chance you want it. You could use it for an attack or defense. So there is some strategy to it. To be honest, I kind of don't like it just because I feel like, I feel like battles are just, they're having gimmicks every generation, and I'm just getting tired of it at this point. Like Mega Evolution was great. I loved it so much. But the thing is, like, I don't know, it's just getting to the point where I don't really like it anymore. I just want like a regular Pokemon battle. I don't want to like, go against someone and then you think you're gonna win and then they just Dynamax. And I feel like it kind of slows down the gameplay a little bit too, because you have to see that animation of making your Pokemon big again. I guess the good thing is that you can now Dynamax any Pokemon you want. It's not like Mega Evolutions where only specific type of Pokemon could do it. Yeah, so that's pretty much a good thing. But then I forgot what I was going to say about it. There was one more thing, but I forgot. I guess I'll just move on to the next one. Hey guys, I'm sorry to cut in like this, but I kind of remember what I was going to say. The thing I was going to say is that Mega Pokemon was a really good thing because it made a lot of Pokemon that were useless. It kind of made them really good. Like a major example is Mega Kangaskhan and my personal favorite, Mega Pidgeot. Now that they're not going to be in the game, or Mega Evolution's not going to be in the game, it kind of like, it makes them back to how they used to be. So rather than improve it, by making even more Mega Evolutions, because we want to see newer forms, right? There's Flygon that was supposed to get one, but they couldn't think of a design. So we have Pokemon that we've been wanting an evolution of that are never going to get an evolution again. So that's what kind of bums me out, because now we're not going to see new forms of new Pokemon, and also we're not going to get like one of our old favorite Pokemons to be, kind of used for competitive battles. So yeah, that's the thing I wanted to say. So back to the video. So raid battles, it's kind of a mixed feeling about it. For one thing, I think it's amazing that you have raid battles. They kind of took it from Pokemon Go, obviously, but just to fight alongside your friends is pretty awesome. And like seeing like Dynamax Pokemon, and then you have one of your Pokemon to go Dynamax against them, and it just seems pretty cool. I love how the Pokemon gets really big and you have to throw it, and then like that facial expression you get right before they throw it. I think that's really cool. It's like an epic moment. But there's like the downside to it. I feel like, because how there's some Pokemon that you want to catch, and you could only catch them if you battle them in a raid. So I think that will get tedious over time, just because like I feel like raid battles kind of take a while. So if you really want like let's say I'm a Milotic and not a specific type of Pokemon, but let's say you want every single type of Pokemon, you're gonna have to like fight for a while. You're gonna have to like fight all these different Dynamax Pokemon just to unlock them in the wild area. After that, it's not really big of a deal because you kind of, you see them in the wild after that. But just like, I would just say like the first time you go against them, it's gonna be kind of like tiresome, just like doing it all over again. I would just say like, just do it, like after you defeat a gym or you get to a certain point of the game, just go to the wild area and unlock some Pokemon and raid battles, and then go back to the story, and then you can do that. But for someone, if someone wants to do it all in one, I don't think that's a good idea. I would just say like it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. And the cool thing about it is that if you don't have any friends or if you don't have an online connection, you can still play with NPCs. They will team up with you. So I think that's a really good thing, because a lot of people don't really have internet, and also people are gonna play like handheld mode. They're not gonna really have internet access if they're outside, like playing at the park or something like that. So I think that's a really good thing that Game Freak did. Okay, this is kind of the big one. This is like the big bad thing about this game. The thing about this game is that Game Freak kind of cut a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, the first thing they cut was Pokemon. That's I don't know exactly how many new Pokemon are gonna come out, so I can't really say right now. But I mean, they kind of already revealed that they have over 1,000 Pokemon, different forms, including different forms and everything. So I think they're gonna include around 400. I'm not sure, maybe 300, 400. But I would say they're losing about 2/3 of the Pokemon there. So like in a way, it kind of feels like an incomplete game. That's how I see it. Personally, I would prefer them to just to wait until they're able to put every single Pokemon into the game, because let's look at it as a competitive scene. If you can't use all your Pokemon, like if you're kind of restricted to choose only a certain type of Pokemon, and I don't think that's a good idea. Usually when a new game comes out, a new Pokemon game, you have like 1 or 2 years of people playing that game as a competition. If people don't have those Pokemons, then it's just gonna seem kind of boring, because I doubt people are gonna use every single Pokemon available in Sword and Shield. I'm pretty sure they're gonna use a small handful of Pokemon, and I mean like just like the top tier Pokemon. So I'm pretty sure these few months or years coming by, you're just gonna be seeing the same Pokemon again and again, and I think that's just gonna be boring. And another thing about it is that since you can't even transfer any of your Pokemon, then yeah, a lot of your Pokemon are gonna be lost. Like they're gonna be in the handheld, and I don't think that's a good thing. For me personally, I don't care. Like I was actually planning to start all over. I wanted to leave all my Pokemon in handheld systems on the 3DS, just because like if I erased the game, I could transfer from Pokemon Bank and back, and that's not a big deal. But for other trainers who really like take it serious, I mean, there's breeding and there's all these like things you have to do: get perfect IVs, get your shinies, get that perfect shiny perfect IV Pokemon that you've been trying to get for a very long time. I know that takes forever to do, and just the point where that people cannot transfer them over to the new game. I'm pretty sure like there's people who are so hyped for this game that they started training their own Pokemon so they could transfer them over, and now that they finally learned that they're not gonna have that Pokemon up to the newest games, it's kind of disappointing, and also like a big time waster if you were thinking about putting it in the new game. So that's kind of a really bad thing. Not like I think of it as like a public thing. So for me, I don't care, but like there are some Pokemon that I would love to transfer over. Like my favorite Pokemon is Quilava, and I doubt that I'm going to have Quilava in the Galar region, just because it's a starter. Just the point of like I'm not able to put every single Pokemon to the new game. It's kind of disappointing because like you replay the games again and again, but you kind of get tired of playing as the same Pokemon. You want to transfer it over just to have a new challenge. Like right now I'm playing Pokemon Moon version, and I just transferred my old Pokemon from the older generations to the new one, so everything seems a little bit different. I think that's pretty fun, but just the fact that they're taking that option away from you, I think that's not cool, Game Freak. And also, like, let's take an example, Animal Crossing. That's a recent game, and it's just been delayed just because they want to make Animal Crossing the best that it could be. Some people are disappointed, but they understand, and also themselves, they want that game to be really good. The thing about Game Freak is like, it's weird because they always include every single one of their Pokemon in all their games, and this is like the first time ever where they don't really include all of their Pokemon anymore, which is weird. And I would say like you should have included all of them. You shouldn't have announced this game too early because now people are going to be expecting it to come out sooner. And now that you've done all of this, you gave a direct, you gave pretty much a release date on this, and you put it on E3. People want this game now, so you can't really like back off from that. I feel like now you have to release it. You don't want to make it like the Galaxy Fold where people actually pre-ordered the phone and it was so close to release date only for them to get it canceled, and now it's getting delayed. I don't know. I don't think that's a good move. You should have not announced the game. I feel like you announced this game because obviously Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were coming out, and you just wanted to announce there's a new Pokemon game coming out just because you already knew you were going to get a backlash from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. You made it bare bones and you only included the Kanto Pokemon. And I feel like, to make the audience happy or make them to look forward to something, you announce Pokemon Sword and Shield. You're like, oh, we're going to make a new Pokemon game next year, but you kind of weren't ready for that. I feel like you should have not said anything. Just wait until Pokemon Let's Go even releases. Even if people are mad that it's a bare bones game, you didn't really have to tell us that, oh, there's a main Pokemon game coming out, because we already know you're gonna make a new Pokemon game. So that's why I'm kind of disappointed that like this game kind of feels rushed. They did say that there are gonna be more features like after you beat the game, so post game stuff, which Pokemon has been lacking for the longest time. So now I kind of like lost faith that we will have some post game content, but I'm really hoping that we are. Like, I'm always hoping that there's something, but I don't want to like overestimate this game because I'm just gonna get disappointed in the end. And right now I'm just looking at Pokemon Home. That's a big thing. That's where you put all your Pokemon and you store them inside. But if you see like the arrows on that picture, it looks like you can not transfer any of the Pokemon from Pokemon Home back to your previous games. You could only transfer them to Pokemon Sword and Shield. So if you could transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home, but you cannot transfer those Pokemon to Pokemon Shield, then like I don't get it. Like, what is Pokemon Home? Like, if you put your top Pokemon from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home and you can't even like transfer them over to Pokemon Sword and Shield, where are they gonna be? Are they just gonna be in there until like a new game releases? So that's why it's like I kind of want more information about Pokemon Home. And another thing is that like you really should have waited until your game was a little bit more completed. And I mean, have your Pokemon, all your Pokemon available from the start, because when people review games, some people, they buy, it kind of makes or breaks the game for them when they look at reviews. And if you're not going to have every single Pokemon in the game, I'm pretty sure that's going to decrease pretty much the review score for your game. And I could tell that people are not going to like it and people are going to review bomb it, just because if you look at the Nintendo Treehouse video about Pokemon Sword and Shield, it has a lot of dislikes. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen once the game comes out. A lot of people are going to skip it. So I feel like at this point, the only thing you could do is give us an update where you will include these Pokemon into the future. at this time there was actually like an announcement from them that they're still not sure if they're going to include the Pokemon into a future update. We're not sure yet, but I really hope you do. It's never happened to a Pokemon game before, but since it's on the Switch now, maybe there's a possibility that it will. Yeah, I feel like that's like the best thing to do right now. It's just update it. You have to update the game, because like if you don't include the Pokemon like that, there's not gonna be enough Pokemon in the game. So let's say like in the future, a future Pokemon game comes out, no one's ever gonna touch Pokemon Sword and Shield anymore, just because that's just gonna be known as the game that was like, you know, like a third of the Pokemon there. It just feels like a beta at this point. So that's why it's really important that you should include the game. Like right now, I want to replay Omega Ruby version on my 3DS. I really want to play it, but it just sucks that I know after the fact that I beat that game, there's not going to be any content afterwards, you know? You don't really have anything else other than the Battle Majon, which, you know, what's just copy and paste from X and Y. So it kind of affects the games in the long run. So that's something you do not want to do. And that was just my major like complaint about this game. That was my opinion. So there's a lot of good things, but there's a few bad things about this game, but they're really bad things. And I don't know, at this point sometimes I feel like the bad things kind of overwhelm the good thing, and because there's so many good things. And I don't know, this just makes a lot of people just think about like if this is really gonna be a good Pokemon game. And I'm telling you, like, I've been playing Pokemon since Red and Blue. I've been playing this game for years. I know a lot about Pokemon. I know everything about Pokemon. So I'm pretty sure my opinion would be respected, you know, at least at some point. So yeah, this is just my opinion. I know I mentioned this at the very end, but it's just my opinion. For any case, this Pokemon might be the best Pokemon game I've ever played. I'm not sure yet. That's why I don't know, the game hasn't came out yet. But this is just my opinion before the game comes out. This is just my perspective of the game before we get any more updates, anything. Like, I just wanted to make this video just because of those major bad complaints that have been going on. So that's why I wanted to make this video. That's why I wanted to make an opinion video, so I could address this before it goes any further in production, you know. So yeah, this has been my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.